Oh,
wow. We're here.
Do a hybrid show today. It's going to be some best of some of the interviews we've done over the years. But the first thing out of the gate, how's everybody doing? Everybody good?
doing great. How are you doing, brother?
I'm in West Virginia. I can't get any better. It's creepy. It's haunted, and I hear stuff in the woods. And I've even got my FLIR out now, and I've got my night vision out looking at the mountain and whole 9 yards. Oh my God, the crap that I'm seeing and hearing is amazing.
Almost
That's
heaven.
awesome.
Almost heaven, because it was almost in Kentucky. So that's why it's almost
Yeah.
heaven.
Cannot wait to.
No, I got my bionic ear. I got my hearing aid. So
Nice.
now I'm officially an old fart. So yeah.
Well, wait a minute. So hold on. Hey, old fart in the middle. Where are your hearing aids?
In a box in the house.
That's a good job there, don't they?
Yeah. No, it's so now I'm hearing all kinds of. Everybody in this ear sounds like they're on a communication channel, like from Star Wars. It's like, what do you see, Gold 5? Say about 20 guns, some on the surface, some on the tower.
That's great. Oh my God. But it is good because now you can hear, right?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's I can't pretend. I now have to pretend that I don't hear my wife instead of just not hearing her.
Because now she knows.
Now she knows.
I know you can hear me, Mark. I know you can hear me.
Yeah, no longer fun with that. So, but yeah, no, and still on the med regimen that we're still trying to epilepsy figure out. So my life's an open book, gang. So I talk about it also.
So
all right, anyway.
We have been sent these images by RPG, and of course he's not here. It's killing me. And sorry if my camera goes in and out and it's kind of shitty. Like I said, I am in West Virginia, and the internet here is just not great at all. So, yeah. I mean, good is not even the word for it. So, but we were sent these images from RPG. RPG's like, oh, I really want you to take a look at these, and we should do them online and have the guys come in but he's not here, so we can't hold off on content because we don't want to be behind. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to do that first. We're going to talk about frequencies. Huh, Mark?
Yeah, no,
frequencies.
I have been down this rabbit hole for years. I've always said that this is an issue. This is a thing. It's like orbs with ghosts. All the TV shows show orbs. You found dust. It's okay. You found dust and insects. As you know, John, the cameras can't quite pick them up right, so they look like little balls of energy. But I have seen weird things that do that. But now it's coming out that these old buildings, these old places that you think are haunted, they're producing infrasound, which we've said for a long time can cause that feeling of dread. You get the spine tingles, you get the little thing going on, because what that does is explain what infrasound is. It's basically you can only hear frequencies up to 20 hertz, and then under 20 hertz it's imperceptible to humans for the most part.
Right. So the human ear can hear down to 30 hertz, kinda, and then you can only hear up to 4,800 hertz, I think it is.
Yeah,
my brain. I should have known all this because this is what I do.
There's one frequency you can hear until you're around 19. Okay, there we go. Anyway, this is under 20 is infrasound. And it's like the lowest possible. Think of the lowest possible note on a pipe organ, and then go lower. Yeah, vibration. It's just vibration moving through the air, and now sometimes storms do it. Traffic does it. If you live near a highway, you'll feel it. What also does it? Electronics, data centers now, but also power line clusters. Those big power lines do it a lot. Right. But also old buildings. Old buildings generate it.
So, do
Yeah.
you remember when we first started the Parageeks? We went on an investigation in Rogersville, Tennessee.
Yes.
Okay. So Rogersville, Tennessee has got this old, it's called the Rogersville Inn, and they say it's haunted. Now, preface this with it is haunted and the whole town is haunted.
Yeah.
But the first things that I checked in this inn, because they had remodeled it from they remodeled the first floor. The second floor they kind of left alone. And then they had a sub basement that they kind of redid, but we had access to the old sub basement. And the old sub basement had a creek running under it, right?
Oh wow. Yeah, there you go.
So I put microphones and hydrophones down on the concrete to see what I got as in frequency, right? And it never registered anything major, because that's the first thing that going into it, because again, the Parageeks premises is we have the paranormal people and then we have the geeks, and the geeks are trying to outprove the paranormal and the paranormal are trying to outprove the geeks, but in a nice way, not a mean way. Well,
yeah.
I could not disprove the feeling that you get. Now, the equipment that I had was made for much lower frequency, much higher frequency. So we didn't just because you can't hear it doesn't mean it's not there. Like
right.
When you have water that runs over granite, quartz, sand, the water itself against those will cause a vibration, and you can feel that. You can actually feel the vibration. And with some people that are really sensitive to the frequency channels, and I'm not talking about sensitive as in, I'm a sensitive and I talk to spirits and stuff like that. I mean, there are those people that walk this planet that can feel those really low rumblings or the really high frequencies, because not only will water against quartz, sand, rock create a low frequency, it'll also generate a super high frequency, because it runs both spectrum, and it all depends on, and actually my tech today is Joseph, and Joseph is a rock hound. So he understands going and looking for rocks and all that kind of stuff. So I think he'll understand what I'm saying as well. But that's right. Yep. Because your feet chirp at the beach. It's quartz. I don't know if you guys heard that, but every now and then you need to pop yourself in there, Joseph. So I went to this town and we had a lot of good stuff, right? I mean, we went to a restaurant and freaking doors would open and the kitchen doors would swing open because they were those swinging doors with nobody back there. Bar stools would kind of turn themselves, and you got a really freaky feeling inside the bar itself. But the hotel itself, many people died there, because it was kind of funny the way Rogersville's laid out. This main street comes down. It used to be an old wagon train stop, right? And I think it was Mail. Oh God, was it Mail or was it Saloon? I know certain stops were like brothels, and then were some gambling hubs and some kind of things. But anyway, so during the Civil War, Main Street was literally the north and south line.
Yeah.
So the north was on the west side, and the south was on the east side, and they would look out the windows and try to shoot each other. And so one was a command center, one was a medical post, right? So the one we were in had a lot of activity. And again, and I preface this, and if people want to change my mind, good luck. But I am more than willing to come on here and you tell me why I'm wrong. But the only thing that I agree with the Catholic Church and a lot of the churches, this is kind of the only thing I believe in, is that there's no such thing as Casper the Friendly Ghost. I believe that they're all demons. And what happens is, well, how did it know because some people go, oh, my granny came visit me and she said this and she said that. Well, that's what demons do. Demons know your interaction with family and they mimic because they need your energy. That's what they're there for. And they're the ones that will either, there's some that are benevolent and there's some that will try to kill you. It all depends on the demon, right? And there's millions and millions of demons, because if you go back to the church, the falling of heavens, whole 9 yards, it's not like there's only 20 demons on this planet. No, there's millions of them, and they are all over the place. But anyway,
Key of Solomon.
We had really,
read the Key of Solomon. It's got the lists of the archdemons and how many legions they run and all that. But I've got some points on this. Good. So keep going.
Good.
You're on a roll. I got some options.
Roger Bills, I definitely want to go. I want to take us back there. But before we completely gut this hotel up here in West Virginia, or this lodge, I can't call it hotel, it's a lodge. I want to get our paranormal side up here. I want everybody up here, but because I'm telling you, the more we start taking apart rooms, the more stuff happens. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I'm in a room and I had stuff that are sitting on the counter that gets shoved onto the floor. I'll wake up in the morning and there's stuff. I'm like, it's just been moved. I mean, I know when I go to bed, ask Mike, when I go to bed, everything's in its place. There's nothing that's sitting there an edge or anything like, and it's clean. I get up in the morning, like the other morning I got up, there were paper towels strewn off the freaking counter onto the floor. Just like someone pulled it and let it go. That I'm the only one here. I'm it. So yeah.
Again,
and there's no way in that room that anything can get into the room, because we made sure when we redid that room that it was sealed off.
Yeah.
And
so
wow. So again, my stuff is, there are things out there we can't explain. That's that correct. I don't like to call them ghosts myself. I like to call them things we can't explain, preternatural, something we can't understand yet. Someday we might. Right. And that's what part of this study is figuring out things that, we're a small piece of the puzzle. Like me, I'm not all that they're demons, because I think some of them are what we call stone tapes, where it's recorded into the rock, it's into the walls, something bad happened, and it repeats. Those are the repeater ghosts that don't seem to interact. They just keep going in their things. Again, I don't like to call them ghosts. I like to say a stone tape, something that is just repeated over and over again. The ones you can't contact. You can't contact with a Ouija board or anything. And I think there are triggers to that, moving a thing that they were recorded on. It's just like skipping a record. If you've moved the table while it's playing, you're going to get some resistance to that. And I think that's what you might be experiencing, is some things like, no, the house is supposed to be this way, and you're doing it that way. Also, these things may not know how to communicate with us. It's, if that's why they move stuff randomly, is trying to say, hey, notice this. There was a house that their bathroom was constantly, like, the toilet paper was tied in weird styles, that if you opened the door, it would collapse because it's toilet paper and all that. A few months later, they found a black widow web under their toilet. So something was trying to tell them that's web. Didn't know how to communicate. Maybe, and again, it could just be coincidence, but again, I think these things don't know how to communicate. So I think that's it. I do think there is a negative feeling with a lot of these, and that's what this goes into. So let me tell the next part of this story.
Go ahead.
So they had 36 people that they put into a controlled lab experiment. So they're all volunteers, and they sat in a room, and half of them listened to creepy music and half of them listened to really happy music. And then they also, half of them, there was like a mix. This was half the happy people, half the sad, creepy people. They exposed them to infrasound at 18 megahertz. 18 hertz, not megahertz. But anyway, they had hidden subwoofers doing that. So compared to the control subjects, those that had the infrasound reported feeling irritable, and they noticed they had higher cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is the big thing. You guys know what cortisol does? It's basically your stress hormone, and it fires when you feel wrong. It's your smoke detector for the nervous system, right?
It's what keeps my ass up at night.
Exactly. So, so the body doesn't hear it, but it reacts to it. So the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, all that, and so you're immediately state of vigilance. There's a predator nearby. There's something wrong, and so that's what that comes from, and that's 100%. They heard different songs, but everyone that had that felt it and were nervous. And so, it's kind of a neat thing. This is where our mind doesn't know the difference between real stress and imagined stress. So if you are panicking about something, you may give yourself a heart attack. You may give yourself this, even though it's nothing. I'm worried about, I can't make this payment. You don't know if tomorrow you might find a windfall, and be okay. Don't worry about it until it's here. But anyway, it's just, this is evolution, and this is a thing we don't understand. And I grin. This doesn't explain everything, but there was one of the lab places that I worked at. Everybody haunted. It's crazy haunted. And we went in with a paranormal team, and we found this one wall was where it was all coming from. And it was loose wiring in the wall and an old busted fan that was part of an old ventilation system wasn't there anymore.
Right.
And so that was producing infrasound and made everybody feel uncomfortable. And if you get exposed to infrasound day after day after day, and the cortisol levels get all messed up, guess what? You hallucinate. You start feeling things. You start seeing things because your body's trying to get you to wake the frack up and get out of there. So I'm not saying it is, all things, I agree, but this does help a lot of explanation. So I was very proud that somebody actually spent the money to do this study, because that's what we've always said. Once Duke University lost their paranormal department, that was it. They all went to the Kleiner Institute, and that's the only thing still doing it. But since they're not an accredited university, nobody pays attention to them. So anyway, my rant's over.
You're talking about New York University doesn't do it anymore? To have, we need more Ghostbusters.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they stopped a while ago. We need more Miskatonic universities with medieval metaphysics, so you can name the demons. So.
There you go. See, there you go. Yep. So we're gonna play a throwback. And believe it or not, we have. I think we're gonna do we're gonna do the Prince later. We're gonna do Ronny LeBlanc's idea with him, and that's probably one of my first or second Bigfoot conferences in Ocala. So as soon as you're ready, Joseph, go ahead and play that beautiful bean footage. All right, everybody, guess who we got? We got Ronny LeBlanc. Normally these guys are so covered up. I can't get you guys. I saw you guys a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, and it's like, there's always lines, and I know you're getting ready to go speak, so they put your line aside, and I appreciate you coming over to the booth with us. So, Expedition Bigfoot, paranormal caught on tape, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you're busy.
I'm definitely busy. We've had like a little bit of a lull right now, so we're waiting for season 4 to get released for Expedition Bigfoot, and then Paranormal Caught on Camera just wrapped probably about a month or so ago. So I have a little bit of breathing room, but then I do these conferences and speaking gigs, which is great. Just kind of keep on getting out there.
Right.
I love doing this because I get to hear amazing encounters from people that just blow you away.
So I'm the tech guy, right?
Yeah.
I am more of I want to know what's going on in the background, because I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in ghosts. That's all that kind of stuff. So when you guys are out there, you're out there for a long time, like 30, 40 days?
Yeah, we're out there for at least a month. And that gives us, time to try to get as much evidence as possible.
Right.
And oftentimes we'll be, sometimes in a season, going to 2 locations. So we may be, like the previous season, we're in California for a month, and then we're in Washington State for a month. So, and sometimes it's just a very small break in between, and sometimes not at all. So it's a struggle trying to balance family life, work life, and make all this work.
So let's talk about that real quick. So your wife's got to be a loving lady, because when you're gone, you're gone, right? And it's sometimes so are you pre-scheduled, or they go, oh, hey, by the way, like you said, we got to move up to this part of the country because it's real hot right now.
Yeah. So sometimes when we get the green light to go out and film, it might be like, hey guys, we're gonna go in 4 weeks, and we're like, what? We're gonna get our stuff together, and so oftentimes you don't have enough time to plan, and that throws everything off because you got, like I said, family life. I've lost my job several times doing this show.
Wow.
And I kind of every season go, can I pull this off again? Can I do this again?
Right.
And we're getting to that place now, season 4, where it's going to be coming out hopefully soon, and we're still waiting because of the whole Warner Brothers merger.
Yep.
Just to kind of get going again, because we feel like we're in limbo right now, which is frustrating.
So what kind of training do you actually put yourself through to get yourself ready to go out?
I'm a big, like to go running in first thing in the morning. Prior to going out to Alaska, I was running like 5 to 7 miles every morning.
Whoa.
Just to be ready. I don't want to be losing my breath halfway through the day and be struggling. Like, I want to make sure I'm like as best shape as I can, try to hit the gym. But we do a lot of hiking and going up, walls sideways, so it's just, it gets old after a while when you're doing that. But the quest of what we're trying to do gives you that energy to keep on going. I try. I'm trying to stay fit. I
was going to pull that old man. You look slow. Okay. But I mean, you carry a lot of gear.
Yeah, and we try to keep it light because if we don't have to carry everything, if we can have a drop-off point, or we have set up base camp, then we don't need to take everything with us all the time.
Right.
But initially, those first few days as we're trying to get set up, we're lugging a lot of shit.
Right.
Right.
So okay. Now, a lot of times, especially when you're going mountains, valleys, mountains, valleys, that's got to take a toll on you.
Oh yeah, I don't sleep that great, anyways. But when you kind of expel and do so many miles per day, you hit the tent, you pass out.
You're done.
But as soon as you hear a little snap, twig break, I'm like, because you're wanting to capture audio or video or thermal or something if you have something coming through camp.
Right.
Because you don't want to miss that opportunity where a Bigfoot's walking through and we're all sleeping.
Yes. Hey guys, we were here, but you weren't sleeping. Sorry.
Sorry.
So when it comes into what's the longest trek you've done on the show so far?
I would say, Washington State, the great thing about that is we went there twice. Right. So, getting the chance to kind of go back after the forest fires, to go back to the same location is like, we saved so much time in trying to find the optimal place. It's like, hit it right back to where we were.
Right.
And it immediately kicked back into gear, which was awesome, because then we're able to capture a lot more evidence. And this past season, capturing the shadow, what I believe was a Bigfoot cloaking that we created, the shadow puppet, was, for me, rewarding, because I was like, this is the type of evidence I'm trying to capture, that these things are not animals. There's something else going on.
Right.
I do believe that they are, for lack of a better term, interdimensional, whatever you want to call it, just because my own personal experiences with dealing with seeing one cloaking when I was 11 in Massachusetts, which didn't make sense to me because I'm like, there's no Bigfoot out here.
Right.
And then orbs and all these other things. Salt Fork State Park, seeing a ball of light split into two eyes become this 8-foot shadow that ran in front of us. Those things, this isn't an animal. There's something else going on. So that's what I'm trying to bring, I think, forth to the greater public, that there's a lot of people that have had these experiences and they're not sharing them because they're so taboo or weird or strange.
You talk about it because everybody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah. So if I can help shepherd that in the sense of hey, these things are going on, and I think what helps is the recent UFO
release
disclosure, whatever you want to call it. I think that is putting it into motion, where the number 2 biggest question mark is Bigfoot when it comes to UFOs.
I tell you, watching the shows, I think the to me that what gripped me in the most is the season where you guys got into the tunnel.
Yes.
That whole area, and then you found the whole bedding down area where all the bones were. I mean, they were clean. Yeah. I'm going, oh, now that's undeniable.
That was weird to Russ is like, I want you guys to see this kill site, and we're like, whoa. Yeah. I mean, there were deer body parts and legs, and there was bones, but there was still fresh like deer legs that were there. I'm like, what the heck is doing this? So, and we're right smack dab in a lot of Bigfoot
Absolutely
activity.
phenomenal.
So, yeah.
Phenomenal. So 5 years.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going to be in 5 years?
5 years, hopefully still doing the show.
Yeah, baby.
I really do think, the show has legs to hit like a season 10. And hopefully we've gathered a lot more evidence that we already have that people are like standing up and taking notice,
I tell you, I think, and I know I'm talking big and just because it's from my world, but you guys have spawned the other smaller groups are they are really getting serious about it. Before it was like, oh yeah, I go out in the woods and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I've noticed all across the country way more
Oh yeah.
research teams.
Yeah.
And they're getting it.
And sophisticated, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
they're pulling in the tech. They're pulling in doctors to help them, biologists and different. So I think seeing that and Dr. Maria having another scientist, we've had Dr. Jeff Meldrum for quite some time, which we need more scientists like him and Dr. Maria that, Dr. Jeff will tell me, he's like, I'm not a believer, but I'm convinced.
I'm convinced,
And
right?
I like that. I appreciate that. He's like, I've seen enough evidence that I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but yeah.
I remember when he was first on, it was like, well, he was always the guy that kind of patted it
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
No. Now it's like, I'm convinced.
And I believe in that Bigfoot exists. I believe in UFOs and all this.
Absolutely.
And I think having those personal experiences helps cement that.
Right.
But, I want to kind of come at it where I feel like there needs to be more unification of the believers out there to kind of help. There's skeptics that will never accept this, right? That they're never going to go, this is real, this is not. Right. That's fine. It's not for you.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to get those other ones that are on the fence. And I think that's our mission.
Come over to the Bigfoot side. We got sticks.
That's right. We got structures.
That's it, man. Ronnie, thank you. I know you're busy, man, and I appreciate you coming over and taking some time with us. All right, everybody, stick around. We'll be back with some more great guests like Ronnie.
See you guys.
Bye.
Love Ronnie.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
I feel like I jinxed him.
Why?
Because after that, he didn't get brought back.
Oh,
I asked him. My question was, where do you see yourself? And they didn't bring him back.
Well, it's the shows are losing money. Let's just put it blatantly. You remember there used to be every show on Travel Channel was a ghost show or a Bigfoot show or something like that. Yep. Discovery Channel started doing the same thing. History Channel started all with Ancient Aliens, and now the only two left are Ghost Adventures, Expedition Unknown, and I guess Finding Bigfoot is coming back, but that's it. All the others are gone.
Well, Skinwalker Ranch is there, and
that's
Skinwalker. Oak Island is
and
on.
Oak Island isn't, but it's not paranormal. And
Blind Frog was on, but I think after the guy died, it won't come back no more.
Yeah, they're all going away because the gold rush is over. So, and they've got the only ones that are sticking around are the ones they have long-term contracts for back when there was a gold rush. So, that's why they're still here. But, I'm getting less and less documentary offers, and a lot of other people are the same boat. So, those of us in the know, but I agree with him 100%. Bigfoot is not a monkey in the woods.
Oh, I've said that. I've said that from the get-go. Yeah.
Something more. Again, infrasound. That's why they're seeing a lot along power lines. Just saying.
Yep. And just water.
Saying. Yep.
They
water,
all travel the creeks.
Yeah, we're like, they're traveling. It's their food source. I think it's infrasound.
No disrespect to RPG. I love RPG. Everybody knows that. He's supposed to be on the show, but he said he couldn't log in for some reason. But Ronnie was my favorite.
Ronnie and Stacey Brown are my two go-tos, and they are.
I think I have an interview with Stacey. I think when he was out with Outcast, so we might play that this week. We might play it next week. But let's talk about handprints.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So again, we were supposed to be waiting for RPG, but I just couldn't. So here's the thing: I analyzed them. And because I I wish they would have done what Dave Sidoti, is it Sidoti? Sidoti.
Yeah, Sidoti, he's great.
What he would have done is he'd have pulled prints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So this is obviously pollen, right? Is what it looks to me. And it looks like to me it looks to me like someone has several times closed the door.
Yep.
Right.
And just different,
and just in the same
different angles. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different angles, and then it just the waxy buildup there, the oils.
So go back to that other one. Go back, Joseph. Because this one, okay, so this one right here is the one where they go, oh, we got dermal ridges. See them on the bottom?
Yeah, and at the very top, but it looks more like a fingerprint than a ridge.
But, ruffles have ridges. And I'm just not seeing, I don't see what everybody else is seeing. And so I analyzed this two ways. I put this to a spectrum, pulled it apart, and went to 8-color. And 8-color shows so right on this one right now, you can see on the very edge on the bottom, you've got the ridges, right? But everything else is smushed. It's a bunch of smushed inside. Now, the one thing that I will say is typically when you have a fingerprint over and, when something hits it multiple times, it would be more of a swirl smudge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the only thing, so I'm not going to say it is, or it's not definitive at this point in time. I'd like to see the original, because the problem we have with looking at these through the download system, stay right there. I'll stay on that one, Joseph. So the problem we have is it on the fingertips, it looks smudged, but on the bottom of the hand, it looks pretty good, right? It's almost like they hit the exact, and I'm glad he put his hand up for a thing. But here's the problem with him putting his hand up. Unless this guy is 6'6" and goes 400 and something pounds, which I don't think he does. I think he's a normal sized guy. That fingerprint is smaller than his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that looks like his hand made that.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah. Except for, his hands was, that means his pinky was closer to his ring finger.
Yeah.
But it's, and so my question, I always ask this to myself: what would make a creature like Bigfoot walk up and touch a car? They're not that curious.
But guess what?
I would.
You know what does do that? That? Black bears.
Bear?
Yeah. Bears.
Black bears. They will go look at the Gatlinburg videos every day. Somebody left a cheese sandwich in their car or some McDonald's or something. The bears freaking know how to open the doors now. They know how to open car doors. They've learned.
With a bear print though, go back to the image. That's not a bear print in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's not a bear, but I've seen bears do that. It'll
absolutely.
Look more like
and it wouldn't
but that
be,
means there are animals that will do that.
Right. It wouldn't be upside down either.
No, unless he's on top of the car,
point up.
Right. But there'd be other problems.
You'd find more than one print as well.
Yeah, most likely. This looks like somebody put their hand on the car, like they were leaning against it or something like that. Yeah.
Was I excited to get this footage? Absolutely. I wanted to see it, but I need to see the absolute original, because when I ran it through my system, it didn't show what I thought it would show. But when I ran it through AI said it was a human handprint, because AI did see some ridges in the other photos, because I ran all the photos in there. The comparative was that it was a smaller human.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Right. Because again, his hand is overshadowing. I mean, like the hand, the palm, the bottom of the palm would be the right size, but his fingers, the fingerprints would be down down much lower. Right. And then I can't figure out what the little smudge is over to the right up above. That wouldn't be a thumbprint, I don't think.
Unless it was a slid. I would think a sliding thumbprint might do that.
You've got this section right here. If you push and you're closing
there
the
you
door,
go, right there.
I mean, that's
yeah. I think it's somebody was leaning against the car and then pollen caught on those oils. I'm not 100%, but
right. And then what are the two little dots down there to the very bottom? To me, that would be the bottom left of the image. If you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the two little.
So, the little bitty one. So, unfortunately, I don't think it's a Bigfoot, because unless the Bigfoot was tired and he decided to come over and lean against the car and put his fingerprint on there.
Smoke a cigarette with the other hand.
I don't. I'm sorry. I would love to look. And again, I want everybody to understand, and me and Michael say this until we're blue in the face. I want there to be a Bigfoot. I want to see one. I want to meet one. I want to, the whole 9 yards. But unfortunately, it's just not looking good for this one right here. So I'm gonna jump over to a video that we did. I was gonna do the one with Outcast, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the one where Anthony interviews this guy from Cryptid Studies, and I believe, if I'm correct, this guy is a tree guy. So while Joseph is getting that one up, and he's the one I think messes with people, and I think it's what he said. We'll listen to the interview. You ready there, Joseph?
And right, here we are back at Parageeks again, and right now we have someone with us whose name is Trey. And Trey, hey, well done. It's like you've been on camera before, haven't you, Trey?
A little bit.
Once or twice.
A few times.
Trey, tell me a little bit about your backstory. Give me the paranormal overhead, okay? 30,000-foot view. What is it you do in the paranormal world?
So, my background before I got involved with cryptids or Bigfoot in this case is I actually have a foundation in arborist work. I started when I was 18 at everybody's favorite tree service, Asplin Tree Expert, LLC.
Okay.
They're not the favorite.
Yeah.
But I worked for them and fell in love with it accidentally. It was just a job out of high school, but fell in love with tree work.
Okay.
And then went on to go from, and by the way, I'm from Franklin, North Carolina.
Okay.
That's where I started.
Yep.
But ended up in the Pacific Northwest working for the IBEW union, and really got involved with the science side of things.
Very good.
The arborist side of stuff.
Yep.
And I bring all of that up to say that's why I was brought on board with cryptid wilderness studies, because when there's something going on with plants or trees or whatever, damage,
structures,
anything like that, my role is to come in and take a look at it and apply some science to what might be happening here. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's really the main goal of our organization, is to do the best we can to apply hard data to what we're finding.
Well, hard science to the data.
Correct, yes.
Yes. The very parallel paths here.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yep.
So now let's fast forward to where you are now. What are you doing, and with whom and how?
So what I'm doing now is I've left the union. I'm now back home in Franklin, and I have my business. We were a full-time tree service, but now it's a whole home and property management. And in addition to that, I am the board of directors for the Cryptid Wilderness Studies. And that is, at best, or at least, a free, fun way to go camp with your buddies in the woods. But what we hopefully are going to do is proof that Bigfoot does or does not exist. So it's like a win-win.
Well, you can't prove he doesn't exist. You can't prove a negative.
Right.
Okay, but you can keep going out there and you can look at what evidence is there. Yep. And as I like to say, we separate the wheat from the chaff. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you can come up with a rational, logical, demonstrable explanation for a phenomena, you want to take that one off the table when that happens. But when you apply all your scrutiny, you put it through all the filters, and you come back with something that you don't have another explanation for, that's something we keep on the pile. Mm-hmm. Have you found anything so far that really compels you that you've had to keep in the stack?
So I will say, full disclosure, I come in this as a skeptic.
Of course.
And what I have seen so far that has really got me going is we have our own footprint. And if you go to our website, we have I can't remember what the app is called, but it's a 3D scan.
It's a LiDAR scan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you can actually look at the photo on the website, and you can tilt the photo. It's filmed in all these ways.
Yeah, I use Polycam. It's the same kind of thing.
I think it actually
it's probably
might be
Polycam. Yeah, it is a phenomenal LiDAR scanning technology, and modern iPhones can do that.
And what you can see is what is clearly like a small to big toes.
Sure.
And there's a break, and then there's where the heel is.
Okay.
So it's as if the foot was able to articulate or bend. That's so far the only thing that has really got me like, okay, maybe there is something more to this.
Okay.
None of the noises I've heard in the woods, it's hard for me to get out of the flow of just working in the woods for so long as I did. That it's all just background noise to me. So it's hard for me to get in a frame of mind.
It's hard to tune in. To things you've been just tuning out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
That's a habit that's working on being broken. But other than that, that's what we've got. There's been a lot of strange, unexplainable things to trees that I've actually deduced as lightning strikes. So it was exciting to get out there and get to play detective. And figure out what it was. And these were actually strikes that came from the ground up.
Right, the roots
so
up.
You could see the strike damaging the tree in reverse instead of a top down.
Generally, I mean, what I've seen, is it may hit at the top, but it's where it's grounded that the damage first appears.
Yeah.
And runs the other way.
So what happened in the two cases that I looked at was it actually didn't strike the tree at all, but it was close enough that
there you go.
Disbursement of energy shot immediately over and then up.
Through the root system, up the tree.
Into the tree. So that was cool to see. Because I've worked, being in the industry, I've worked a million lightning strikes on trees.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's always in the tops of them and stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
And they break off in the middle or something.
You would know. Thank you. I appreciate being educated.
But those were cool. It's rare, but you do see them.
But now what I want to get at is when you see things like the structures, when you see trees that aren't from anything that's broken nearby, that is laid across 20 feet in the air, or 12 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, that is across two sets of branches, perfectly, horizontal. Okay, you see something like that, but there's no stump nearby from which that came. And now those exist out there. How would you explain one of those?
So to speak from personal experience,
yes,
climbing trees.
Yep.
Me and my buddies. Hey, watch this. And we're 50 feet up, I'm going to put this top on that tree because we know it's probably going to be taken down. And that's another thing we look at too is like, is this was this area logged in the past 20, 30, 40 years?
Sure.
And do we find just really random things? Look for old damage to trees that was like machinery marks. You're not going to see skid steer or track marks from
No. It's been gone for a while, yeah.
But I've personally put trees in just weird and obscure ways, and then just left them.
Sure.
And
so
see if
it
my
could
buddy
be
can
human
one-up
intervention,
me.
but from longer back than we have anything showing. Where we might have tracks, we might have even, anybody saying, that was logged last year. So there's going to be some weird stuff because guys like you, Trey, have been through.
So those are some of the things that that's like some of the obscure knowledge that you wouldn't necessarily think of unless you were
but you're still attributing it to human creation. There are, of course, the tent style.
Yeah.
Okay, where you see those stacked in but these are, incredibly remote areas.
Yeah.
And then you see them repeated 3, 4, 5 times in an area.
So what I look for in that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to forget
No,
this
cut me
part,
off,
but you're going to know if somebody has climbed a tree and cut it and felled it into another tree, because there's going to be a flat spot.
Of course.
So
yeah, but you're talking broken branches,
yeah.
Anywhere from an inch to 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
Taken and stacked around in like a teepee style.
Yeah.
So when you see something like that, is there any natural explanation for something like that? Can branches, 8, 10, 12 branches fall like that in some kind of coordinated fashion?
I mean, naturally speaking, to my knowledge, no. And I've not ever seen that myself either. So I've never got to experience what is alleged to be a structure that's been put up by a Bigfoot.
All right.
And I would love to see one. And actually, we are going to, it's in Andrews, North Carolina, in September to, it's by the Nantahala Lake. We're going to go on a campground there. And it is got an alleged structure that, when first observed, was different in a month, added to. So I'm excited to get out there to see that and see what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
I have no photo reference to it at all, so I don't know if these are big trees or little trees, but I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, you don't want to tell people where you're going because they'll go out ahead of you and do crap.
Sorry.
Okay. No. You did fine. Okay, because you didn't say specifically where.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like there's only one place in town it could
Coordinates
be.
35 degrees north.
Yes. No. But. Getting out there to investigate these, I would love to see some of your input in the future. And of course, you'll be putting stuff up on cryptidstudies.org.
Yep.
Okay, for us to research and look at. And I love that kind of investigative technology. And there's a lot of people bring in really good science to the table on this, and you're one of them.
And we've got the LiDAR stuff, we've got the parabolic mics, we've got game cameras set up in some of our research areas. We're trying to just get data, the LDR mics. Just as much as we possibly can, and we want, and on our website you can call, we respond to all of them. We want data, photos, videos, audio, you name it, you got it. Just even a story. Like we're here because we want to do the same thing that everybody else does, is figure this out for once and all.
The truth is out there and we got to find it.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Right, Trey, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It was great talking with you.
You too, man.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.
So that right there, he couldn't have said it better. That A, he's a skeptic, and B, this is just a great excuse to go camping. But yet, when you're out there, you might as well look because you're out there.
Yep, Trey is awesome. I live in Franklin. I'm on the outskirts of Franklin, so I know him pretty well. I've seen him a few times around town. Again, we're like, hey, it's not the hell of forest. We get to look up at the stars every night. We're on the edge of dark sky territory, so it's and we're not in it, so we still have Wi-Fi. But it's amazing at night. And so I got the mountains behind me, and the reason it's called Nantahala is it's the land of the noonday sun. The only time there's full sun is at noon. The rest of the time we're slightly shaded. Right. That's why so many animals live out here, and the nocturnal stuff is sometimes out in the day, which is great. Right. So this area is full of Cherokee history and folklore, and it's all document. We get so many stories in this area. Where he's heading to Andrews, there's a bunch of stories there too.
And
up in Highlands.
So everybody keeps asking me why I've chosen to put my efforts in to a lodge up in West Virginia and not in Georgia. I think we talked about this last week. The problem is in Georgia, we, first of all, just say Blue Ridge, for instance, right? Blue Ridge, that whole area in there is now overpopulated.
Oh yeah.
So I don't see that being a very hot area. I mean, is there stuff there? Yeah. But do I also think that it's so many Northerners and Easterners and Westerners have moved in? They've done it like they've done Florida. Florida, I think, is overpopulated now, in my personal opinion. And then I live in Northwest Georgia, over by the Alabama-Tennessee line, and it's not that it's not a good area. It's just an area where I couldn't do what I'm doing up in West Virginia. There's just not enough pull. There's not enough dark sky territory, like you were saying, Mark, right?
Yeah.
So here where we're at in the what is it, Mike?
Monongahela.
Monongahela. We are just like you, Mark. We are on the verge of dark sky country.
Yeah, Green Bank Observatory is near you guys a little bit, so that helps. They have a official dark sky territory, nothing allowed there, so it's awesome.
So to me, that's why I'm doing it up here. So, but I did like the fact that he said, hey, me and my buddies out in the woods, we lay stuff over, and he even said to see if the next person can outdo me, right? Who can one up me, and the way they do this. So I think a lot of that stuff that we see out there, like the upside down trees, that's when they pull those things straight up and then they toss them because they're not worth anything and they just happen to land upside down. Because those machines pull them out root and all and just toss them, right? They just toss them. So, but to me, it's like, I love these people that, the only reason I go out in the woods is look for Bigfoot. No, you go out in the woods because you like to hike and you like to camp, and it gives you one more good reason to go out into the woods, which is great. That means, means everybody's out there. Right.
Yeah. Bring your casting equipment, and all that, as well as your usual camping equipment, because that's what's there for. It's just in case. So
we're going to, we're going to play one more video, and this is going to be, and this is just because we all liked Meldrum. So RPG and I were up in Kentucky, and we were at the Bowling Green thing. So we're going to play it real quick and come back and then say bye, everybody. Go ahead there, Big Joseph.
All right, we're in Bowling Green, Kentucky for the Bigfoot Mini-Con. I just want to thank the library. I want to thank Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Maria, Russell. It has been an incredible event. And in terms of today, what were some of the highlights of the event for you?
Oh, it's always interacting with all the guests, being able to meet people from a different region with a different set of experiences, a lot of interesting shared stories, firsthand evidence, lots of footprints, and never enough footprints.
Well, you are the king of footprints.
That's right.
Is it you now, or is it Cliff Barackman who has the most prints? Because I heard it was you.
Well, I would probably defer to him because given his rise in notoriety and that fantastic museum there in Boring, Oregon, he's become really the lightning rod for much. He's very generous and shares, but quite honestly, I'm scaling down. I'm trying to digitize everything and get rid of the physical collection, find other homes for it, because retirement's on the horizon for me.
Wait, now scaling down to the Bigfoot community, that sounds like you're getting rid of a few casts. So does that mean people will be able to acquire them?
Well, ultimately, yeah, but certainly I always make replicas available to the patrons of the various events that I attend, and so it's a great piece of this phenomenon to share. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it's cumbersome to try to curate a collection of these large artifacts, and so in this digital age, it's kind of crazy. We can do so much more with the 3D scan. There still is nothing like holding a cast in your hands.
Oh, come on. It's got to be tactile.
I'm still a bit of a purist, in that regard.
Yeah, and what, for people that are getting into it, especially the kids, what do you recommend? What is the approach to getting into this field that would be respected by academia?
Sure. Well, I think a good starting point is the proper literature. So that would include my book.
Yeah, of course it would.
As a good jumping off point and field guide, but it's all about getting out there. I mean, you've got to establish a connection with the area where there may be the potential for an encounter. Yeah. That means learning where the resources are, where the cover is, where the water is, getting familiar with the habits and behavior of other more common forms of wildlife, so that you're more attuned, because these creatures are so rare, so infrequently encountered, and their sign is therefore so scarce. You really have to be on your toes to pick up on it.
Yeah, and if people were excited to come here for next year's event in Bowling Green, is Kentucky, in your opinion, a suitable habitat?
Sure. The kind of rule of thumb for anyone that's thinking about doing work in their neck of the woods, their own neck of the woods, can a population of black bear make a living in that habitat? And if they're there, that's another large omnivore species that would require some of the same basic things to sustain itself as a large omnivorous primate like Sasquatch would. So that's a good way to kind of gauge the potential as a jumping off point.
Sure. So. And I guess my last one is the Bigfooting world. You would think it's all sweethearts and nice people, but you actually need a pretty thick skin to be in here because everyone's a paper tiger online. Sure. So what would be the advice to, like, when you get in, not to take anything personal and just to focus on your research?
Well, yeah, it's as my generation would say, just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts. You heard it there. Just the facts, ma'am. From the man himself, Dr. Jeff Meldrum.
That was a great interview. And I mean, that was a great event, actually. And that's the first time that I'd really got to talk to Dr. Meldrum. And, it's sad that 2 years later, then he was gone. So.
Yeah. I do think he was misguided in a couple of his things, sadly. But I think that we talked about that with Ray Wallace and some of the others that he put way a lot of faith in. And we haven't debunked it, but we've definitely made it so that might not be the best things. But but he was still the nicest guy. And, and I'm sad he's gone too, because he was super nice. Yep. Now, Cliff,
he was a great guy. Great guy.
Cliff Brockman, he's another good guy that I hope we can get on sometime and talk to. So,
all right. Well, you know what, folks, it's been a good show today. We've talked about some evidence. We talked about some. Next week we're going to talk about some footprints from Miss Brooke. I think is what's going to be next, because I've got an interesting theory on some of that too. So, hopefully Mike will be up here next week, and we'll be one of us will be in a different room because we both got to share the same place. So, I am toying with doing a couple of trial sipping squatches before it gets snowy. So just to get opinions, get some dry runs before we're completely done in whole 9 yards. So, with that being said, I am John.
Okay, I will probably not be on next week because I'll be at the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival in Ohio.
Where's that at?
I will be
in Ohio.
Okay. Hocking Hills, Hocking Hills, Ohio, which is huge Bigfoot territory. I'll be there, and then on the early in September, I'll be at Dragon Con. So,
Dragon Con, Atlanta. Well, how far is Hocking Hills from us?
From West Virginia, where you guys are? Probably about 3 or 4 hours, not too far.
Maybe me and Mike need to come over to Hocking Hills for a day.
That's a big event. Be nice to see you guys. So,
just saying. All right, everybody. I'm John. This is Mark. This is Mike, and we will see everybody next week on Parageeks.